Nobody, including Rasheeda, the cast, or the crew, had anticipated what would unfold, marking one of the most shocking events in love and hip-hop history. Cameras caught Kirk Frost having an explosive outburst, leaving Rasheeda in tears and everyone in shock. Just hours after the video leaked, it quickly went viral on social media, with fans demanding an explanation and producers scrambling to manage the situation. However, the damage may already be done. What should have been a routine scene between the couple during a normal filming day turned into chaos. Voices were raised, accusations flew, and then, in a shocking moment that caught the internet off guard, Kirk aggressively confronted Rasheeda in a way no one expected from the man she had supported for years. Fans are now speculating about what really happened behind the scenes. Was this a one-time occurrence or a sign of deeper issues? While Rasheeda hasn't publicly commented, those close to her believe she is devastated and done with the relationship. According to insiders from VH1, this controversy could jeopardize not only Kirk's career, but also the future of the show itself. Prepare to be shocked by what we're about to reveal, so stay tuned. The Love and Hip Hop set was buzzing with its usual behind-the-scenes activity. Cameras set up, crew members running around, and makeup artists making final adjustments. In the midst of the hustle and bustle, Kirk Frost entered the set with a tense expression, his jaw clenched, as if holding back a storm. Anyone who knew Rasheeda could see the tension building inside her as she sat in the corner, trying to stay composed while scrolling through her phone. The crew could feel the icy atmosphere between them, sensing that something was about to snap. What the audience didn't know was that just before the cameras started rolling, Kirk had discovered private texts on Rasheeda's phone. They were personal messages where she confided in a friend about Kirk's recent betrayal, but they weren't flirtatious or scandalous. One message read, "I don't know how much longer I can pretend this marriage is okay." Kirk saw this, but said nothing. He simply waited for the scene to begin, his anger brewing beneath the surface. The scene was supposed to be a simple conversation about their son's academic situation, but Kirk couldn't contain his emotions. When the director called for action, he ignored the script and launched into a tirade instead. "So, this is how you really feel? Talking behind my back while pretending everything's fine for the cameras?" His voice was low, but filled with intensity. Rasheeda, startled, looked up in shock. This was not what the script called for. "What are you talking about?" she asked, her voice already shaking. Kirk exclaimed, "I saw everything," and walked toward her, unsure whether this was just a scripted scene or real emotions unfolding in front of everyone. The crew froze, the tension in the air palpable, and the atmosphere was thick with stress. Rasheeda's eyes widened in disbelief. "You looked through my phone?" she asked, her voice shaky. Kirk snapped back. "Don't act like you're innocent. You've been smiling to my face while talking behind my back. This isn't real, Rita, and I'm done with all the lies." The director, seeing the situation escalating, attempted to call a break, but Kirk was beyond control. He needed to express his anger. "I have to vent to someone," Rasheeda said, standing up, tears welling in her eyes and her voice quivering. "I can't keep pretending anymore. You're never around, you lie, you're dishonest. I'm drowning in all of this." Those words pushed Kirk over the edge. In one swift movement, he raised his hand, and in a moment that felt like it was in slow motion to everyone watching, his palm struck Rasheeda's cheek. The loud slap echoed through the studio, and gasps filled the air. A clipboard clattered to the floor. Rasheeda stood still, her face turned away, slowly lifting her hand to touch the spot where he hit her, her shock immobilizing her. For a brief moment, silence enveloped the room before it all erupted. Crew members rushed in, and security was called. The assistant director immediately stepped in, while a sound technician carefully escorted Rasheeda out of the scene. Kirk stood there, panting, seemingly in disbelief over what he had just done. Yet it was done, and nothing could undo it. The cameras kept rolling, capturing the chaos from multiple angles, leaving a shocking record of Kirk Frost, a longtime cast member, striking his wife on camera. The footage spread like wildfire once it was leaked, with word reaching social media in minutes. Someone from the crew had sent a message, warning that something negative had just occurred. Kirk had hit Rasheeda. The reaction was swift. Social media exploded, and Rasheeda's name quickly became trending. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing, with many refusing to accept what had just happened. Meanwhile, Rasheeda sat quietly in her dressing room, her cheek already bruised and her makeup smeared. She fought to hold back tears, but the tears had stopped flowing. All that was left was shock, betrayal, and an odd sense of relief, as if something hidden for far too long had finally been exposed. He really did it, she thought to herself. She whispered to her stylist, "He really did it. He hit me, hard, right in front of everyone." Outside the room, the producers were in full panic mode, unable to agree on the next steps. Some suggested halting the shoot entirely, while others felt the need to release a statement before the video leaked. However, it was clear that this incident wouldn't stay under wraps. It had already been recorded on a phone, and the blurry footage would be the first thing to surface online, despite the network's high-quality cameras capturing it. Meanwhile, Kirk had left the set without offering any apology or explanation. He walked off with a cold demeanor, offering no words to anyone, not even his supervisor. He simply got into his car and drove off. The first shaky footage appeared online the next morning, showing Kirk slapping Rasheeda. The reactions were immediate and intense. Fans were outraged. People demanded that he be canceled, arrested, or fired. Celebrities also joined in, voicing their disapproval. One rapper tweeted, "No apology at all. Just disgusting. I grew up watching them." An R&B singer posted, "I'm heartbroken right now." Even the show's executive producer, Mona Scott, couldn't stay silent, posting a vague yet clearly directed message. "Violence has no place in our production. Decisions are being made." Rumors spread quickly, with some claiming that Kirk had been indefinitely suspended, while others speculated that VH1 might cancel the entire season. Throughout all of this, Rasheeda stayed silent, but her silence didn't last long. A few hours later, she shared a black screen on Instagram. No caption, just the image. Her followers flooded the comments with messages of support. "We love you. Leave him. You deserve better." The pressure for Rasheeda to speak out and share her side of the story mounted as the love from her fans poured in. Inside, she was battling a storm of emotions. But to the outside world, it was a different story. The humiliation, anger, heartbreak, and confusion were all consuming. She was torn between filing charges or staying in the marriage. Everything had changed, and that was all she knew. What happened on that set was just a glimpse of a much darker, deeper issue that had been brewing behind closed doors for years. There was no turning back now that the truth had come to light, and Kirk Frost's explosive outburst had been witnessed by all. The world had witnessed the chaos, and the aftermath was just beginning. After the storm, there was a brief quiet, but the damage was far worse than anyone had anticipated. As the world waited for Rasheeda to speak out, in addition to the physical bruise on her cheek, Kirk's slap shattered years of trust, loyalty, and silent compromises. While they had been seen fighting on camera before and had endured rumors, emotional breakdowns, and infidelity scandals, this time was different. This was not just another reality show drama. It was real, raw violence captured live, and it couldn't be ignored. Rasheeda sat alone at home, her team advising her to lay low and avoid both the media and social media. But recovery wasn't coming easily. Instead, memories rushed back. Times when she had overlooked, protected, and forgiven Kirk, even though, deep down, she knew he didn't deserve it. It felt as if everything she had kept hidden for so long was now out in the open, and that made the pain even sharper. Her phone kept buzzing with messages from castmates, friends, and family. Everyone had something to say. Some checked in, others were shocked, but only a few acknowledged that they had seen the signs for years. One castmate texted, "We've known for years it was only a matter of time." Rasheeda stared at that message for minutes, wondering, how long had she been waiting for things to get better? How many times had she convinced herself that staying was what love meant? Meanwhile, Kirk was hiding out in a friend's condo, away from the cameras and the chaos. He hadn't reached out to Rasheeda or apologized. Instead, he replayed the incident over and over, trying to justify it, convincing himself that it was just a mistake, that she had provoked him, that she had overreacted. But deep down, he knew the truth. He had crossed a line that couldn't be undone. His phone rang. It was Mona Scott. He ignored the call. It rang again, followed by a text. "We need to talk. This is serious." Kirk paced around the room, tossing the phone aside. He knew the network would be watching, that the video would be scrutinized, legal teams would get involved, and statements would be drafted. Most importantly, he knew his reputation, what was left of it, was crumbling fast. On the internet, things were spiraling. Fans unearthed old footage of Kirk belittling Rasheeda, analyzing his tone, his body language, and previous arguments. Hashtags like "Nah, Fire Kirk Frost," and "Justice for Rasheeda" started trending. News outlets were quick to report the scandal, calling it a real-life tragedy that had spilled out from the reality TV world. Podcast hosts interviewed insiders who claimed Kirk had previously been confrontational off-camera. Amidst all of this, Rasheeda's mother stepped into the public eye. Known for fiercely protecting her daughter, she didn't hold back during an impromptu live session. "You can't build love on pain. I told her years ago. And now you all see it." He laid his hands on her. "There's no coming back from that." She spoke with fiery conviction, and her words resonated deeply. Rasheeda had endured everything and shown incredible strength. But the question remained, was Kirk's past finally catching up with him? Could he ever fully redeem himself? Or was this the end of his career? The comment section was flooded with opinions, with many wondering if there was any hope left for him. For more updates on this unfolding drama and the latest celebrity news, remember to like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't miss any major developments. Stay tuned to find out what comes next for Kirk and Rasheeda, as the drama is far from over.